Hey guys, thecubedude here. Today I have an unboxing from Tony Fisher. Today we have 3 packages from Tony Fisher. There's a ton of super rare puzzles in here and I'm very excited to jump into these. So Tony decided to send all 3 puzzles in 3 separate packages just in case any of them got lost in transit. It's better to lose one than all 3 of them in one package. So thank you very much for that. We'll get started on the bottom of these.
2,000 years later.
I'll leave this in the bag for now. We have 3 puzzles here. I never thought I'd have any of these types of puzzles in my collection, so I'm very happy to have them right in front of me right now. I'm going to pull this one aside for the end, and I'll be going over these 2 first. This one right here is a 10-color Meffert's Dodgic, signed by Uwe Meffert. Tony Fisher has a video going into detail on these 3 puzzles, at least a little bit more detail than I'll probably be going over. Now, Dodgics apparently didn't come with packaging back in the day, but this one happened to be shrink-wrapped. It looks like it's dated October 16th, 2005. Looks like it's number 9. I'm not sure how many of these were made. And then there's his signature right there. I will not be taking it out of the shrink wrap, but I do have another 10-color Dodgic, or just another Dodgic that I'll pull from my collection and show you guys how this puzzle turns. It does look like there's already kind of a slight turn right here. I'm not going to attempt to put that back. I don't want to mess with the shrink wrap, but very happy to have this in my collection now. And I'll go pull out another Dodgic to show you how they work. All right, here we have another Dodgic. Turns on the tips like this, as well as a little bit of a deeper cut like that. Now, I haven't scrambled any of these. Calvin Puzzles actually has more recent Dodgics. They're a little bit bigger than this. Right here I have one of the Calvin Puzzles Dodgics right here. They're a lot bigger, as you can tell, in size. There's 3 variations. They're just sticker variations, and this is one of them. And again, they turn on the tip. They turn a lot better than the Meffert's ones. They definitely are quite chunkier than these ones. The puzzles tend to go for quite a bit on eBay. You can usually find a couple of them on Twisty Puzzle Forum, which is where I actually found this posting of these 3 puzzles. So if you want a Dodgic and are interested in adding anything like this into your collection, I highly recommend frequently checking the Twisty Puzzle Forum site. I check it daily, a couple times a day, just to see what pops up. All right, here we have an Astrolabicus. Now, this is a puzzle that for a long time I just accepted that I would never find one of these and never have one of these in my collection. But here I have one with the original packaging. It has been opened. I'll go into a little bit more detail as to why it's been opened. But this is what the back looks like. This is from 1999. So while this puzzle is not meant to be taken apart due to how it's put together with these metal rivets, Tony Fisher did end up drilling a hole through one or all of these. I'm not quite sure the exact details, but he did end up taking this apart so that he could make some molds to cast other Astrolabicuses. And then he put it back together, and it looks pretty good. It looks like maybe he drilled a hole right there. But still very happy to have one of these. Apparently there's only 300 of these that were ever made, and this one does come with the original packaging. So very happy to have one of the 300 here. The way it turns, I guess I've never turned one of these before. Seems very finicky, and one of the pins actually just fell out. That's not good. I do not want this thing falling apart on me. Okay, looks like it came out right there. Oh, it does look like it's already scrambled a little bit. Fantastic. Move this around right here, and then move the beads back, or the balls back. There we go. So yeah, this puzzle will stay solved. It will stay in the packaging, especially with that pin falling out. Seems like a very fragile puzzle. Maybe that's why only a couple of them were made. Looks like it's the smart person toy. All right, that is the Astrolabicus. This last puzzle, I couldn't be more excited to open up. But before jumping into this, back in 2014, around when my channel actually started, Meffert's ended up coming up with a bunch of cool ghost cubes, and ghost cubes have been one of my favorite puzzles for a long time. And when they first came out, there was a bunch of different stickered versions. There was a set you could buy where if you bought the set, they'd all be signed, and it would come with an additional version of these stickered ones. And then soon after, or maybe around the same time, they ended up coming up with out with these metallic ghost cubes, and we have gold, silver, blue, and purple, and then green was available, I believe, just from the Jade Club, which no longer exists, at least to my knowledge. And then shortly after that, there was a green stickered version from the Jade Club. But I do have the full set. I actually have 2 full sets of blue, purple, gold, silver, and green. And so these were available for purchase for about $32, if I recall correctly, on the Meffert's site. Now, there were 50 red metallic versions that were gifted. They were not sold. These puzzles were only available as prizes for big competitions. Big YouTubers got them. I know Crazy Bad Cuber and Red KB got them. You know, my channel starting up in 2013, I really wanted one. I was hoping I'd get one, but obviously my channel was not big enough. Now, over the years, I've definitely collected quite a bit. I have about 2,200 puzzles in my collection and counting. And with this full set of metallic ghost cubes, we have, you guys can probably already guess, a red one. Now this one is obviously very special. It's red. Again, there was only 50 of them made to my knowledge. The only way I know that is on Adam Cohen's Instagram. He put hashtag 50 of the red. So I've kind of been going off of that number. The reason this one is very special is this one is signed. And this one is apparently in perfect condition. It looks really nice. I'm not going to be doing too many turns on it. But this, I don't know how many signed versions of the 50 there are, but this is one of them. And then along with this, I actually do already have 2 others. I have one red ghost cube. Neither of these are signed, but one of them was from Ron Van Ruchem, who's one of the co-founders of the WCA. And then the other one, I believe this one, was from Felix Zemdegs, who we all know and love. And so this right here makes 3 of the 50 red ghost cubes with, I'm not sure how many of the signed ones, but one of them. So I'm super excited to have this in my collection. Definitely one of the most valuable puzzles I probably have in the entire collection. For those of you that don't know, a ghost cube is just a 3x3 shape mod. So if you can solve a 3x3, you can definitely solve a ghost cube. You just solve it by shape. So here, you can already tell, staring directly at it, that there's your cross. So we have the centerpiece, and then edge, 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 and we have the 4 corners. And so there's your one layer. And then you do have to misalign it a little bit. So you kind of have to solve it into this shape right here. And then when you're done solving it into that shape, then you can misalign the layers to get it back into a cube. A few turns in, it does already look pretty scrambled if you aren't very familiar with ghost cubes. So once again, we have the 10 color, shrink wrapped, never been opened, signed by Uwe Meffert 10 color Dogic here. We have our signed red metallic ghost cube, and we have our Astrolabicus, which again has been opened, but it does come with the original packaging. All right, now that we've jumped into these and taken a look at all 3, let's go ahead and put these puzzles on my shelves. All right, as for the Dogic, the perfect shelf is going to be this one right here. It has all my other Dogics and a bunch of other rare puzzles. I think this one's going to go front and center right there. Next to it is a Hungarian Dogic, and then we have 3 12-color Dogics in the back, and then we have a 20, a 10, and a 5-color Dogic in front. All right, as you guys can tell, I have moved the silver ghost cube from behind that Dogic I just placed to on top, and I'm going to put the Astrolabicus right in the back there. There we go. All right, and this last puzzle will be going on this bookshelf right here. It'll be going on the middle shelf along with the other red ghost cubes, and I'll have signature facing the front. Right there. And right next to it is actually a pretty rare clock. There's only 100 of those ones, the left one, and then next to it is all the other fun cheeky clocks that they've been coming out with, including that clear one, which is pretty neat. Phil, what do you think? Phil, what do you think, bud? I think this means he likes it. Thank you so much to Tony Fisher for shipping these puzzles out. I'm glad that they made it here safely and in perfect condition. If anybody wants any additional information on these puzzles, I highly recommend you check out Tony Fisher's video, which I will link in the description below. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed, and thanks for watching.